gathered today for such a sacred reason. It's one of those times where, you know, we never want to only see people at funerals or sometimes weddings. But I want to encourage you to still enjoy the faces that have come together, still share those looks, still share those moments as Anita would want us to. And that's, of course, here. We're here to celebrate the life of Anita, and each of you are a part of that. Each of you make up the celebration, because each of you were important to her. So allow this to be a celebration of the love that we have for her. Well, let's take a moment to get ourselves centered. Just take a deep breath. And rest in this moment. Setting aside any rush, any worry about the weather, anything that comes after this time. And then just take a moment in prayer to be right here, right now. Sweet Spirit, you are near to us today as we remember the life of our beloved Anita. We honor her life, knowing that nothing in this world can separate us. Nothing in this world can separate any of us from her love, from her spirit, the essence of who she was in our lives. We celebrate the memories of her and ask that God, you comfort our grieving hearts, bringing us together in love. And so it is. Amen. And now I just want to welcome you all just to enjoy this beautiful song that is being sung from such a sacred place in hearts of those who love her.
mountain grandeur, and hear the take me home. What joy shall fill my heart? Then I shall bow in humble adoration, and then proclaim, my God, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art, how great thou art, how great thou art.
Thank you so much for honoring Anita with your gift, ladies. We appreciate you. And now I welcome up the lovely daughter Julie to read a poem. And it's a very special meeting.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for being here today. This is a beautiful, beautiful gathering for my beautiful mom, and I really appreciate all of you. So, Desiderata, I'm not actually going to read the poem. I'm going to talk more about what it means to our family. Desiderata is a poem that has held space in our home for forever, and in every home that my mom lived in. With its black velvet background and its white embossed letters, it is a familiar friend to me, and also to my brother and to Mike. The frame changed over time. Started with an ornate gold frame and changed to solid wood and then just to a simple gray frame. But no matter the frame, the message remained the same. It begins, go placidly amid the noise and haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. Even when life is chaotic, stressful, sad, and especially in times like this when our hearts are breaking into pieces, there is a peace that we can find within ourselves. All right, now let's get real. Silence was not a virtue for my mom. She liked to talk. She liked to talk, and some may even have thought her a little bit boisterous. Even toward her end, when she wasn't communicating in words, her facial expressions, her gestures, they said it all. They spoke of unconditional love, of happiness, of remembrance, of desire, even of frustration. And in her quiet times, she found peace. She found the light and the love within herself that she shared so generously with all of us. The context of this poem, Desiderata, speaks of the things that truly matter. I feel my mom in these words. She was always striving for peace, for love, and to understand others with empathy. The poem says, as far as possible, without surrender, be on good terms with all persons. Whenever I complained or had negative things to say about other people, her famous response was, they're doing the best they can. Sometimes, well, probably all the time, I rolled my eyes at this response. But I came to learn and came to understand through these kinds of conversations with my mom that my best is not everyone's best, and that's okay. Everyone has their story. Everyone has things going on in their lives that we don't see. And she was so forgiving. Another line of the poem, be yourself, especially do not feign affection, neither be cynical about love. For in the face of all aridity and disenchantment, it is as perennial as the grass. My mom lived this. She was always herself, no matter what version of herself it was. She did not feign affection because she truly looked for the good in every person, and she saw it, sometimes even when it wasn't there. Her love was unconditional and unwavering. She gave freely and fiercely. She had so much empathy for others, and she was often the hardest on herself. Yet to all of us, her family, her friends, she was more than enough. She was everything. Her love, her kindness, her compassion. She showed us what it meant to truly be there for someone, no matter what. And the most important lines of the poem. Be gentle with yourself. For you are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have the right to be here. And whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. It's hard to believe. It's hard to say, and it's even harder to accept. No doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. But she truly believed this. I can't count how many times I heard her say this. Even when we got her diagnosis that the cancer had spread and there was little hope for survival and quality of life, Mike and I sobbed. She didn't complain. She didn't question. She just told us it would be okay. We all have a place in this world, and no matter how uncertain things may seem, there is always a path unfolding. There is a path forward, even in this tremendous loss. On Monday, December 2nd, I had what I suspected may have been my last conversation with my mom. I took the opportunity to ask her questions and, more importantly, to shower her with love and with compliments, telling her what a positive impact she was on me, on Darian, on Mike, on our grandkids, Addison and Zach, and on every one of you. Because that's why you're here, right? She said, if I'm such an amazing person, why is this happening to me? The first and only time I heard her speak these words out loud. I responded with her own words. When our sister Lisa died at 3 years old, I remember asking my mom why. Why would God do this? Her response, God always has a plan. He just needed her more than we do right now. She's God's little angel now, Julie. Well, God needs you more than we do right now, Mom. You're our angel now, and whether we know it or not, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. In the face of life's challenges, the noise, the rush, the broken dreams, Desperado reminds us to keep peace in our souls where she is always with us. My mom, Anita Louise, is a beautiful, spiritual being who had a human experience. And now that experience continues for her, as it does for us, just in a different way. Thank you.
Much for giving us that insight to your mom's heart and to the meaning of this poem. I've read it so many times, and it's just so beautiful to see it woven in and throughout your family. Thank you. And keep sharing those stories. Keep that alive. Pass them on to the children. Now, if you will join, we're going to say together the 23rd Psalm, which I'm sure will be up on the screen, and it's also in your bulletins. And there are a few more seats still left in here. If anyone wants to sprinkle in and come and join us, we still have some space. This is the time to be close. So if you will join. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. And that is the truth.
When I am down and oh my soul so weary, and troubles come and my heart burden me, then I am still and wait here in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise
done. Don't think of her as gone away. Her journey's just begun. Life holds so many facets. This earth is only one. Just think of her as resting from the sorrows and the tears in a place of warmth and comfort where there are no days or years. Think how she must be wishing that we could know today how nothing but our sadness can really pass away. So think of her as living in the hearts of those she touched. For nothing loved is ever lost, and she has loved so much. And dear Anita touched so many hearts and loved so much as she continues to love now. And how we do love her in return and always will.
Thank you, Reverend Ron. I know that you will hold that light and will continue to shine as she did. Thank you so much. I'm April Ellenburg, licensed unity teacher. I've only known Anita for a couple of years, and like many of you who have known her for a lifetime. But I can tell you that her light was so bright from the first day I met her. She's been a cheerleader and just a ray of joy every time I saw her. You are all here because of that one common thing that we have, that we share with each other. Each of our lives have been blessed in some way because of the good fortune of having known Anita. And, you know, this incredible woman touched each of our lives in different ways. We each share different types of relationships with her. For some, you know, may have been mom, grandma, friend, you know, mentor. Each of us share these different aspects, but that common factor was the light of who she was in all of our lives. The ups, the downs, the ins, the outs, the every bit of it. And one thing I saw, and I heard from Julie, she shared with me, and we set up the pictures the other day, I got to hear some of the stories of them, is that even through those ups and downs, Anita, you know, just kind of kept rebuilding herself, reinventing herself, and always with a bright light, with a ray of sunshine that she was. And over the course of her life, all these different roles that she played in our lives evolved, and they brought us to this moment. This moment where, yes, there's grief and it's sad, but it's sad because there was so much love. And as Reverend Ron shared, that can never go away. This service is a time to share those thoughts and those memories, but I want to encourage you again not to allow it to stop here. Because those memories and those sharings, those stories of who she's been in our life, those moments when that song will bring a tear to your eye, or when something will remind you, that's the moment to share and to reconnect. Because that will not only keep her in our hearts and fresh at the forefront of our mind, but allow others to get to know her who maybe haven't even met her yet. And she is worth many people knowing, beyond just this room. And we get to keep that alive for her. So please keep those stories connected. Those are what connect us to each other through her. And what a beautiful way she did that. She would tell me stories. I heard about, you know, hanging with, you know, the family. And you could see that light in her when she would share that. So take a breath and think of a moment that brings a smile to your face with Anita, a moment that you share. And just notice how that makes you feel. These stories have the power to heal our hearts. And it's okay to smile and to laugh, even when we're sad. In fact, that's what she would encourage us to do, even through tears. And I know Connie has shared many times they would support each other through hard times, through laughter. And that's a gift we have, again, just to go inside sometimes and just remember. This is also a farewell ceremony, of course. It's not just about the laughter and the joy. There will be tears, and know that this is a safe place to do that. And as we share these different emotions, we share the different aspects that made up Anita. So don't stop there. Allow this to be the portal through which we carry her forward. Goodbye is a part of her journey, but only on a physical level. She will be carried through our hearts, the memories will be shared, and the essence that she brought to us has changed us. So because of her, a part of her lives on, not just through the stories, but through the imprint she left on our hearts, through the ways in which she changed us. We are each who we are, and a small part of that is because of her. She will continue to live on through that. Yet we humans, we're almost addicted to this form of things. Of course. That's why we miss people when they're gone. That's why we miss the sunshine when it's gloomy in winter, right? We don't like change, but the truth is, even though we prefer that nothing changes, everything changes. Anita has simply changed form. Who she is still who she is to each of us. So naturally, we gather and grieve that the part that's no longer with us. And there's no right or wrong way to do that. And I want to encourage you to be gentle with yourselves. There's no timeline to grieve. In fact, grief will go on longer than we even ourselves expect it to. I said it may be that moment when the song comes on the radio. And after all the gatherings quiet down, when you're in that quiet space, be patient with yourself, because that's when the deeper feelings come up. And that's a time for us to be together. But this is also a time for many of us when we just naturally take stock of our own lives. You know, it's a chance to explore our emotions, to be with them. We don't have to squash them down. Those tears are love pouring out from our hearts. They're just overflowing. But it's also a time that we remember the value of our lives, the time that we so often take for granted. It's a time we often call the person we haven't talked to in a while, or a time we go visit, or we make the time for, that lunch we've been meaning to have for so long. And I think that that's something Anita would encourage us to do, not just at the time that we remember that we're missing someone, but all of the time. And so maybe that's what we can take forward, is how can we honor her through those connections. I'd like to read you a quote from Eric Butterworth, who was a Unity teacher and minister. He said, it is a great problem of our time that we express a belief in the eternity of existence. We continue to act as if this here and now is the beginning and the end of it all. He goes on to say, one of the greatest truths of the Bible is Paul's statement, the free gift of God is eternal life. This means to me that life did not begin with birth, nor does it cease with death, any more than we begin to live when we put on a certain garment or stop living when we take it off. Even though the body temple, under the consciousness of limitation, wears out or runs down and is laid aside, this can have no influence on the life idea that is molded as you. Death is the manifestation of a soul moving forward to new experiences and a new expression. He says it is important to remember that the form of the coffin or the tomb is not the real person, our soul, at all. It is but a form used for a while. The person is not there. Anita is still here with us, everywhere present. Everywhere. Can you feel her? You can probably imagine right now something she might say to you, maybe of comfort or maybe to make you smile. We were talking yesterday, we were sending up the pictures, some of the things, even a few pictures where she might not have wanted up on those boards for herself. This is a great time to share the things that you're not supposed to, right? And that is truly who she was. And do I think she would have taken them down? No, I think she would have rolled her eyes, because I bet you got that for her. In fact, I know that, because I saw moments where maybe she shouldn't have said something, but you could see it on her face, right? Her facial expressions were so vibrant and so expressive. And for these different stories, and many of you have pictures that maybe aren't shown here, share them. Share them with the family. There are so many different chapters of Anita's life, of all of our lives really. And some of you may not have experienced her as the minister. Most of us didn't experience her as our mom, right? So these different aspects brought different parts of her, and although her light shined in every corner, in every way, it was different. And it's fun and nourishing to hear the different ways she touched everybody's life. And I know that for the family, those closest to her, that that's important to hear. We will each hear something that, like, wow, I didn't know that. I didn't know. And even looking at the pictures, like, what's going on here? I think my favorite was the one where she's dressed up as a hippie. And I think because I could feel the essence of her without the wig and the tie-dye. I could feel that free spirit. Like, that may have been a costume, but I think it might have been a part of her spirit in general. And you can see that. The one thing I loved as I looked at these pictures was that even when we saw pictures of her really young, I could see the same light that I saw in her eyes now. So as I prepared for this service, I was looking at the weather ever-changing, and now I know some people who love winter. Not my thing, but I honor it. And yet, as this change happens constantly, there's a layer of snow out there right now. The sun is still out, but we can't see it quite as brightly. And it reminded me, that just what feels like a few weeks ago was autumn. A time where everything was in transition. A time when the earth appeared to be dying off, but really in autumn it's going down below where it's being planted. But then just that quick, winter. Change happens so fast, a time of quiet and rest. And I think that's where we're at right now. But the thing is, what helps me through the seasons, in the moments when I think I can't take one more moment of cold and snow, that hasn't happened yet, it doesn't happen anyway. But there will come a moment where it's like, I just can't take one more. The thing that comforts me is to know and to remember the memory of spring, the memory of what is to come. And just when we can't see them anymore, daffodils appear. And they seem to appear without us even planting them, which is a beautiful thing. Once again, the full circle of summer. And if we have not experienced this cycle before, it would be hard to imagine what's coming next. It would be hard to imagine this process of transformation that brings us deep into winter and back into new life. So when we look at the seasons, we know what to expect because we have been there before, through the cycle, many, many times. Yet none of us have been through the cycle of life, or at least that we necessarily remember. Right? Maybe we have many times before, or maybe not. Birth, living, dying, to whatever it is that comes next. And many of us have beautiful beliefs of what comes next, and many of us have no idea. Truth is, we could all have it wrong, and we could all have it right. We don't know, but we can imagine. But again, it's not something that we remember. We don't know for sure what comes next. But what I know for sure is that Anita's essence lives on within us. And that's the life that will continue for us in this experience. There's this beautiful quote by John Donne that says, "Our critical day is not the very day of our death, but the whole of our life." And there's another quote that really stood out to me from a neurologist, Oliver Sacks. He said, "There will be no one like us when we are gone." Isn't that the truth? But then there is no one like anyone else ever. When people die, they cannot be replaced, and they leave holes that cannot be filled. And that quote really resonated with me because, as we change, it's the new year, and all of a sudden we're going to have new habits and new routines, and for a minute that lasts. And, even as we change and as we transition, that truth of us, the foundation of us is always there. And you can never be without the foundation that Anita built with you. The imprint that she left on your heart, the ways in which she changed your life. The joy of having known her, the comfort of having her in our memories. Again, we just pause for a moment, and as I asked you to bring a memory to your mind, I saw each of you light up. I could see that. Some of you had a big smile. I'd be curious to hear what thought you brought to mind, right? And those are the ones to share, of course. But then there's no one like her ever, right? They're never lost when we remember. One of my favorite quotes by Deepak Chopra is, "Healing is a return to memory of wholeness." Healing is a return to memory of wholeness. And the truth is, we are connected to Anita. There is a oneness, a wholeness that can never be separate. The knowledge of that for us, our lives, it's beyond this physical space. Beyond what we're missing in this moment, we are forever connected to her, and that is unlimited. That is precious. These moments are extraordinary. And there are so many. Many that we've even forgotten that might pop up or that someone else might share. So today is an opportunity to fully experience our emotions, fully experience each other in these stories, to reflect on our own lives and the ways in which Anita touched God. But most importantly, it's a time to remember the imprint that she left in our hearts. We remember her. We remember her so fondly. When we are weary and in need of strength, we remember her. When we are lost and sick at heart, we remember her. When we have a joy and crave to share it. When we have decisions that are difficult to make. When we have achievements that are based on hers, we remember her. At the blowing of the wind and the chill of the air, at the opening of the buds and the rebirth of spring, we remember her. At the blueness of the skies and in the warmth of the summer, at the rustling of the leaves and the beauty of the autumn, we remember her. At the rising of the sun and at its setting, we remember her. As long as we live, she too will live, for she is now a part of us, as we remember her. Our mothers are everywhere. Our friends are everywhere. They're in the Christmas ornaments, the dazzling lights, the growth of the flowers. And as those opportunities arise, take joy in remembering her. Now again, I had the privilege of knowing her very long, about 2 or 3 years. But I'm so grateful for that opportunity. She's been a cheerleader of mine. As many of you know, she recently, became ordained and a unity minister, and what a joy I saw. Oh my goodness, if you didn't see her ordination, you should watch it. Her light, I thought she was going to jump right off the stage. It was so fabulous. I wasn't there, but I watched virtually. And she's been cheering me on as I followed that path. And we even shared some of the moments where they may have been a little frustrating. Some of the red tape you have to go through, and things, and yet even in that we were able to laugh about it. Our time together here allows us to share these stories, these memories that bring smiles and tears. Stories that help to grow our hearts. This is something that we will have forever to share with each other, to share with her, so we can continue to share even beyond today. Before we begin, I would like to read her obituary before we begin our storytelling. It was so beautifully written, and I think it just reflects the essence of her wholeness. Anita Louise Koch, cherished wife, mother, grandma, sister, aunt, friend, and spiritual leader, passed away peacefully at home, surrounded by love, on December 19th, 2024. As senior minister at Unity East Church, she was known for her warmth, her wisdom, and unwavering strength. Anita is survived by her loving husband, Michael Koch, her children, Julie Curtin, husband Neil, and Marion Watson, who were a source of pride and joy in her life. And adored grandchildren, Addison and Zachary Curtin, and many beloved family and friends, as we can see here. She was preceded in death by her mother, Winona Salzman, and father, Robert Salzman, and daughter, Lisa Ann Watson. Anita's life was one of great grace and enduring strength. Strong and stubborn, she approached both life and death with the same fierce independence, choosing her own path. A woman of profound love, kindness, and energy, she left an indelible mark on all who knew her. She was a source of light, offering forgiveness and thoughtfulness in abundance. She endured with quiet dignity, never complaining, always with a heart full of love and acceptance. In her final days, her family stood by her side, unwavering in their devotion, as they honored the way that she lived and transitioned. Family and friends gathered in those precious moments, sharing love, laughter, tears, and memories, celebrating a life lived with deep spiritual purpose and connection. The science of nature spoke of her transition. Endless cardinals watched over her. You'll keep seeing them. A reminder that she was being gently guided by the angels who came before her. They lifted her spirit, flying with her toward heaven, where her soul now shines brighter than the summer sun and the full moon on the darkest night. Anita's love will forever resonate in the hearts of those she leaves behind. Her energy, her light, her unwavering support, these will carry on. We are comforted knowing that one day we will be together again. Rest in peace. You are loved, you are blessed, and your spirit lives on in each of us. Again, just take a moment to feel her in your heart. Now is the time for you to share your stories and your memories.
Well, Mama, I bet your view right now is amazing. And what an amazing view you had when you were here, right here, in this space that meant so much to you. It is an honor and a privilege to be here with all of you in this place, honoring and celebrating my mom and the energy that she had, this space that she cherished so deeply. I know she's smiling. I know she's overjoyed to see this church filled to the brim with all of you. Thank you. So, this past Christmas was undeniably difficult, to say the least. I held her fiercely in my heart, but it's been hard to feel okay. I found myself drawn to the nostalgia of our childhood, especially those old animated Christmas specials we used to watch together. Well, in Whoville, they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day. And then the true meaning of Christmas came through. And the Grinch found the strength of 10 Grinches, plus 2. We had that story on vinyl, and we would read along with it every Christmas when we were kids. The Grinch taught us that the best things in life aren't material, and that it's about the people, the love, and the memories that matter. Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer, reminded us that we need to value people for their unique qualities. His red nose was initially seen as a weakness, but it turns out it was his greatest asset. He never gave up on his dreams, and he believed in himself. My mom was always a dreamer, always new ideas, new ways, learning and growing all the time. In Frosty the Snowman, when he comes to life, he exclaims, "Happy birthday!" Celebrating the moment he becomes that living being. My mom loved celebrating birthdays, especially her birthday. But not just for a day. No. It was a birthday month. She saw it as a time to start fresh, to begin new, to continuously reinvent herself. The greatest lesson that I learned from my mom is that there is a lesson in everything. No matter how hard the experience, there's always something to take away. Sometimes it's simply learning that we can get through the tough stuff and still be okay. Losing my mom is the hardest thing I have ever been through, and I've been through some stuff. I'm grateful we had the opportunity to care for her the way that she cared for us. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. Life is too short not to spend it with the people you love. She showed us extraordinary love. It is said that extraordinary grief is another expression of extraordinary love. Grief and love mirror each other. They work in tandem. One cannot exist without the other. Darren and I had an extraordinary mom. Mike had an extraordinary wife. She was an extraordinary grandma, sister, aunt, and friend. She left us a legacy, and it's our job to help that legacy live on through our love, our positivity, and by holding tight to the people we care about. Another one of those animated Christmas shows we watched was Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Remember that one with the Burgermeister Burger in Sombertown? Sombertown? Nobody wants to be there. No one wants to be faced with the Burgermeister Burger, the villain of the story. No one wants to be faced with cancer, the villain of this story. It took her from us too soon. It wasn't the happy ending that we expected, but we still find ourselves standing, and we will continue moving forward, one foot in front of the other. So as we grieve, let's also remember how she lived, always finding joy, always finding hope, and always finding a way forward. Thank you so much, all of you, for being here. Thank you for sharing your love and sharing your memories and carrying her spirit with you. And to continue with the sharing of memories, I'm super grateful to welcome Judy Wurges, my mom's bestie for over 60 years.
Well, since I'm the person here besides, the only person here besides her sister Nancy, who's known her the longest, I have some stories to tell. So I think you'd like to get to know Anita a little bit better. Wonderful to see so many people here to celebrate the life of my friend, Anita both. Mike, Julie, Neil, their friends, Darian, grandchildren, Eddie and Zach, sister Nancy and her family, and Mike's siblings who are here from all parts of the country: Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, Kentucky, Traverse City, Chicago, and Rochester. I see friends and classmates from the class of 1966 at our Rochester High School, and it's so wonderful to see you here. My family and friends are here, and so many people from this church and the Unity community that I have been privileged to meet through coming here to see my friend Anita do her wonderful job speaking. This group of friends and family is certainly a testament to Anita's hope. Well, my friend Anita was one of the most upbeat and positive people I have ever known, even though she had many hardships in her life. When life gives you lemons, make lemonade, well describes her outlook on life. I first met Anita in 9th grade. I was called Anita, so I might go back. I met Anita in 9th grade at West Junior High in Rochester, where we were both new students. I had moved over the summer from my childhood home in Mount Clemens, and Anita had moved back to Rochester after living in Ferndale for 2 years. Her mother had died when she was in 6th grade, and so she and her sister Nancy lived with their aunt and uncle and then moved back to be with their dad. We both played clarinet in the band, and that's where we met. She was much better than me, though. She was very competitive and continued to jockey with 2 other students throughout high school for first year clarinet. She even received a scholarship to Interlochen for summer music camp. That competitiveness was part of who she was. As adults, she and I played a mean game of euchre as partners, and she always played to win. Anita and I became fast friends, spending the night at each other's homes. Her joy and spunky personality made her fun to be with. She loved to dance, and she knew the words to all the songs, but I could only hum along. Her dad was a traveling salesman who was away from home for days at a time, and she and Nancy were very confident at taking care of themselves. They cooked, cleaned, managed the house, and were quite self-sufficient. Their moral compass was amazing. They lived in a neighborhood where they could have gotten into some trouble, and yet they were good girls, good students, great musicians. They were really great people. My mom and dad welcomed them into our home, and they spent much time with our family. So we really bonded like sisters. There were always Christmas presents under the tree for them, and they spent a lot of time there. Anita was a go-getter. She got a part-time job for extra spending money. When she wanted something, she knew how to get it. And she saved to buy contact lenses that were quite expensive at the time. And she kept it a secret from her dad by wearing her glasses around the house. She was popular in high school and had many friends, including a guy named Mike, who she dated once. She and her boyfriend John double dated with me and my boyfriend Jeff. The guys had a rock and roll band, and Anita and Nancy, with this, were their go-go dancers. With wide boots at the Battle of the Bands. That was an edge that helped the band win. We had lots of fun. After graduating from high school, Anita and I were roommates at Central Michigan University, where we both majored in elementary education. They say not to room with your high school friends, but we were very compatible throughout our time there. We both ended up marrying our high school boyfriends, and we became teachers and had children of our own, and were busy raising families. And Anita had 3 wonderful children, Julie, Derek, and Lisa. But her marriage didn't last, and she and her husband divorced. And when her children were with their dad one summer, a tragic accident occurred, and her youngest daughter, Lisa, lost her life. This hit Anita very hard, and she struggled for some time. But with her outlook in life, she forged forward to make a new life and reclaim her life with her 2 children, Julie and Marion. She had a good job. She was focused on rebuilding her life. And that's the amazing thing about Anita Koch. She always put one foot above the other. In 1987, she came to my husband Jeff's 40th birthday party, and so did our high school friend, Mike Koch. There was fireworks as they reconnected, and the rest was magic for them. They were together for 37 years, having just celebrated their 32nd wedding anniversary in November. They were always so in love and so compatible, owning their own business and always working together. We have spent many wonderful times together as a foursome with my husband, Mike, and me, playing cards, going to concerts, traveling, culminating in a European river cruise in 2023. Throughout our life, Anita and I had a spiritual connection. We both attended St. Paul's Methodist Church as teenagers, self-motivated to drive ourselves to church and youth group. I was looking at some old college photos the other day and remembered that we even had the Serenity Prayer posted on the wall in our dorm room, her idea and her life mantra. Who does that as a college professional? God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Even then, she was always thinking about the positive side of life. We each gravitated to unity in separate ways. She found Jack Boland at his first church at Quorum and Queen in Detroit, and my husband and I found Royal Oak Unity. We both ended up at Church of Today in Warren, where she and Mike were married. Her spiritual life and unity helped her get through tough times. All this time, Anita read books that filled her soul. While I read bestsellers, she had a stack of books by unity authors and others who prescribed a positive attitude in life, with her favorite being Wayne Dyer, whose books, The Power of Intention, Change Your Thoughts, Change Your Life, had a big effect on her. She also loved public speaking. She belonged to Toastmasters International and became president of the Rochester Toastmasters chapter. When my brother passed away in 2013, I prepared to speak at his funeral. Worried that I might not be able to get through it, I asked Anita to bring my bag up, putting her speaking skills to good use. I did make it through, but then she decided to share her memories and love for my brother. And when she got up to speak, she lost it. She was totally in tears. It meant a lot to me that she cared so much. She never complained about the tragedies in her life, but always looked for the good in her life. She loved her family so much, her daughter Julie and husband Neil, grandchildren Annie and Zach, who she loved to brag about as most grandmothers do, and her son Darian, who she loved and supported. Her home was filled with positive affirmations that she lived by and shared with her family and friends. In February 2020, at age 71, this gutsy friend of mine decided she would become a Unity minister and enroll in their online program. I don't know why I should have been surprised at that, but still, she did it. She steadfastly worked and attended the classes, met online with other students and families, and worked so hard to complete her degree. Meanwhile, she obtained some speaking engagements in Unity churches and became a favorite at Unity East here in Township. We were happy to attend her graduation in Unity Village in 2023, and then she was offered the position of minister here. She was thrilled. Known affectionately as Reverend Anita, her congregation was warm, everybody loved her, and she really loved all of you as well. She was celebrated at her ordination here with Reverend Scott just last June, and that was such a glorious day for her. In November 2023, she learned she had an aggressive form of breast cancer called triple negative. Like she had always faced the challenges in life, Anita approached the treatment with positivity and hope. She faced triple negative breast cancer with a triple positive attitude. Just last summer, she was talking about her 5-year plan. She's always making 5-year plans for the future. Like Julie said, she was a dreamer. She was always thinking about the next thing. In November, when she learned that the cancer had spread to other parts of her body, with a resolute spirit, she decided no more treatments. Christmas was always her favorite holiday, so it was fitting that she was surrounded by the beautiful lights, family and friends, and the spirit of Christmas in her final days. Throughout our friendship of 62 years, I have seen Anita face much adversity, and yet she always maintained a positive kind of attitude with hope and resilience. I've always been amazed by that. She never complained, but poor me, why did that happen to me? She's lived the life that she talked about here in her Sunday lessons. She's been a way shower. She's been a true friend to me, who has supported and loved me. And I hope by you knowing her, she's impacted your life like she has mine. You may have noticed some of us here today are wearing dragonfly pins. A story told by Jack Boland many years ago had special meaning to us. And here's the dragonfly story. It seems that a colony of water bugs lived in a muck at the bottom of the lily pond. They were fairly happy, poorly adjusted water bugs, just like most of us, except for one mystery. They could not understand why every now and then one of the numbers would crawl up the stem of the lily pad and disappear. So one water bug decided to do something about it, and she called a meeting with the clan of water bugs. They made a solemn vow that the next water bug that disappeared would come back and tell the others what had happened to them. Would you believe that? Right at that moment, when the water bug was speaking to the rest of them, she had an irresistible urge to climb a lily stem. Right then, she began to crawl slowly up that lily stem and finally reached the pad, and exhausted, she flung herself over the top and lay there resting in the sunlight. After some time, she awakened, and for the first time in her life, she felt herself encased in a stiff, brittle coating, but there was an urge within her to burst that coating, and she did. Took every bit of strength that she had, and suddenly she saw herself as a beautiful green dragonfly. She rose effortlessly and began to skim across the surface of that lily pond. She looked down into the murky waters, and near below she saw her friends and family. She could imagine their consternation. What had happened to her? She said to herself, I can never go back. I can't go back and tell them of my transformation, my new identity. But one day they will understand. They too will feel the urge to climb towards the light, to climb the stem of the lily pad. And so soar, my friend Anita, with your beautiful wings. I'll look for you in my garden.
A beautiful daughter, Addison.
We are gathered here today to celebrate the whole life of my grandma, Anita Koch, to gaze upon her ashes, the final remnants of her physical form, and honor her spirit. It honestly feels like quite a challenge trying to sum up all that my grandma has embodied throughout her life. She was a multifaceted woman, which has been expressed in numerous ways. a chameleon of sorts, always showing her true colors, just changing with her environment. She taught me pride, confidence, and authenticity, how to dream big. Through no words, no outward expression, she taught me that it's okay to be who you are, whoever you may be, wherever you may be in your life. Some of you may know me, and for those who don't, I have lived in a van that I built out with my dad for the last 4 years, with a stint in Marquette going to NMU. Listening to Judy's stories actually was really cool. I did not know that she was a go-go dancer. Did all this awesome stuff. And so, it's really cool. I think we have a lot of parallels. Like, she's done a lot of traveling throughout her life, and she was always really happy for me that I got to have the opportunity to follow my dreams and really do what I wanted to do. So for the last 4 years, basically, I have been on a quest of self-discovery, seeking peace, connecting with nature, connecting with source, and getting to know myself. I've been finding my purpose, my passions, finding pleasure in the present moment. And all of this work that I feel I'm doing began with Grandma. She inspired all of this, and she did without even knowing me. She wasn't trying, she was just being herself. And the work that she did in her lifetime created space for more energy to flourish and allows our lineage to really heal and transform. So this is my purpose, to honor those that came before by integrating their wisdom and their work into a channel, whatever that may look like. And I'm not sure of any better way to honor her than to just be myself. My grandma was proud of me when I was broke and never showered and lived in a van. She was proud of me before I could walk or talk. She was proud of me when I was going to college. She was proud of me when I had no direction and when I found my purpose and began to pursue it. She never discriminated against the different versions of you. She doesn't just care, she loves unconditionally. And if you were so lucky to be held dearly in her heart, thank you for the love that she had for all of you. She shared with the world because we are all connected. I will continue to grow and become someone new, grow into my power, my purpose with strength, make many mistakes along the way, just as she did. And this is her legacy, a lineage of healers, of lovers of life, of creators, and along with many other things, her DNA will continue to thrive and change and heal through the body of her children, children's children, and so on. So never doubt her impact. Never forget her lessons. When I was a kid, Grandma watched me every day, taking me to the park, playing in the yard. And though I don't really consciously remember all of these things, my body does. I was safe with her. I felt held and accepted and nurtured. And my physical body really feels the loss of her presence in the world. And though her spirit surely lingers, she is deeply missed. So one interesting thing that's kind of been coming up for me as I've been sitting through the service and everything, I wasn't really raised going to church, which is interesting considering this is what Grandma does. But it's like I recognize that this is a church, but this place feels different. It feels like non-dualistic. It doesn't feel so, I don't know, rigid. And I think I'm really glad that Grandma found this place, and I'm really glad that you guys got to experience her because she's really amazing. Yeah. We all have this darkness and light inside of us, and these essences of creation and destruction within ourselves. It's just a matter of how we channel them and if we accept them. And she may not have been a master at accepting her darkness, but she sure did a really good job. After everything that she went through throughout her life, between grief and loss, and divorce, and childbirth, and marriage, and joy, She remained a beacon of light amidst the darkness of the world. She knew disruption and she knew chaos well, and she chose peace. She really chose peace. A few days ago, my mom told me that she found a letter I had written in middle school in my grandma's desk, and I was really stunned to see a paper titled "My Michigan Hero," addressed to my grandma. Truly, I don't think there are any words more fitting to describe my admiration for my grandma than the words of my younger self. Yet another version of me that she loved unconditionally. So this is what I wrote about her in middle school. Superman, Batman, and Captain America are greatly recognized superheroes, but not all heroes come from movies. Not all heroes are widely recognized or well known, like my Michigan hero, Anita Koch. My grandma is such an inspiration to so many people, even without movies or magazines. She may just seem like another person living in another town. She's so much more. She speaks at church on Sundays and inspires everyone she reaches out to. Positivity is her philosophy. Be kind, think of the bright side, and never give up. Even on days that aren't going too great, she's happy and kind, and that in itself is amazing. She also always can cheer someone up, even if they don't really want her to. Encouraging other people on days she may be discouraged is just one thing that my grandma does to make her my Michigan hero. She, along with my grandpa, own a branch of the company Legal Shield. Running a business, as some people know, is very hard work. My grandma and grandpa work so hard to keep it going as strong as they can. They do so much and work so hard and may not always reach the goals they want to achieve, but positivity is their priority. Owning a business, she has to deal with some people and some situations that are very hard, but she pushes through and does a great job. It is truly quite inspiring how she does what she does. See the light in others and treat them as if it's the only thing you see. This is a quote by Wayne Dyer. She strongly believes that there is more good than bad. It may sound strange, but I have never heard my grandma say anything mean about anybody. The thoughts don't even cross her mind, and this is one reason she's great to look up to. To have a mindset like hers doesn't just come naturally. She really wanted to be happier. Thinking her way would be great, but it couldn't be easy. The fact that she had enough willpower to create a new, powerful, positive mindset is another reason she is amazing. In one of her speeches, my grandma said, "Today I affirm the all good, and in this affirmation, I accept the presence of love and reject every belief that hate has any power. I affirm peace and deny confusion. I affirm joy and declare that sadness has no place in my consciousness. I affirm that God is all over, in all, and through all. There is nothing out of the past that can limit me, and there is nothing in me that can limit my future." If I had to choose the most important thing that my grandma has taught me, it would be this. She tells me that I can learn from every milestone and every mistake. Everything is for a reason, and God always has a plan. Never lose hope. Anita Koch may not be on TV, but she's my grandma and my Michigan hero. Well, it's actually funny because it's about to transition into, if you really knew my grandma, you know she loved to talk, and that runs in the family. Okay, so yeah, there really is no words purer than those of a child looking up to her grandma and just seeing her and wanting to be like her. So yeah, I just want to emphasize it's how important it is to honor the entirety of ourselves. Our scars and our blemishes are just as worthy of being seen and being in the light as our perceived perfections. We've all been through shit. Sorry for like that. But like, we have a tendency to not talk about it, but we've all been through it in our own ways. So I think that's another thing that Grandma has really shown is to like open our hearts and open our minds to each other and yeah, talk about the good and the bad. Because yeah, she loves to talk. Talk about those she loves, the things that make her happy, and if you're lucky, the things that make her sad, because that vulnerability is scary. So yeah, I know she would, okay, last thing, for kind of 2 minutes. So, I know that she would want me to share my current accolades, because always talked about me, as I've always been told. And she's proud of me, and since she isn't here to tell you guys about me, then I guess I will have to do it. So, yeah, after years on the road, I came back home, and I'm currently in school to be, I feel so deeply that everything I'm doing is so aligned to Grandma and her essence and the things that she brought into the world. So yeah, it feels fitting to share it with you. I'm in school to be a massage therapist, a Reiki master, an intuitive energy healer, a sound healer, and a somatic practitioner. And this is all built upon a foundation of an Earth Tantra certification, which encourages the weaving of different practices to help you align to your highest. So I want to make my grandma proud, and more than that, I want to be proud of myself in the way that she would be proud of me, if that makes sense. Like, I want to have that pride for myself. And I aspire to carry her peace and poise in my heart and share it with anyone I encounter. And this is her legacy, and no doubt she lives on. Okay, and I have a short poem that I actually read at my almost funeral back in September. I've had a lot of loss lately, but this poem feels like closing something simple. It goes, I am with you still, I do not sleep. I am 1,000 winds that blow. I am the diamond glints on snow. I am the sunlight on the ripened grain. I am the gentle autumn rain. When you awaken in the morning's hush, I am the swift, uplifting rush of quiet birds in circle flight. I am the soft stars that shine at night. Do not think of me as gone. I am with you still in each new dawn. Love you, Grandma. Thank you all for listening.
I don't need the mic. I just want to take a few minutes. I want to observe the crowd. It's just wonderful, wonderful. I want to soak it in and remember this. So thank you, and thank you. That's it.
Well, I hope that you have gotten to know my mom a little more through our stories and through seeing that she's clearly passed on the gift of being up on a stage. And if there is, I would love to hear from more of you. If you have a story or a word or a funny or whatever, so that we can learn more about our mom from you as well and remember her.
I am Reverend Artel Gandy from Detroit Unity Temple. I and Anita met or attended Unity Urban Minister School together. There were times that I may not have understood the lesson or the class. So guess who I called? And it was always, oh, honey. I wish I would report that. Because I heard, oh, honey, so many times. She was a special person. Anita was, to me, a perfectionist. She always wanted it to be right. There was no wrongness. In Julie's conversation, I heard the word wholeness. Also heard her granddaughter use wholeness. Anita looked at the wholeness of a person. She made me think of the school that I gave when I was ordained, because I talked about wholeness. And that's what we need to do. Not look at the happiness of a person or people. We've got to know each other in the wholeness. Because we all want the same thing. and that is to love and to be loved. And that's what Anita wanted. And that's what we're going to do when we leave this place. I actually want you to look at the person next to you and say, I love you. That was Anita.
For many of us of a certain age, coming out of the 60s, when the hippies cut their hair, and then all of a sudden there was self-actualization, the human potential movement. There was a quote back then that said, here lies whoever, born 1900, died 1935, buried 1970. So many of us, if it's not exactly at 35, but at some point, we have the choice to settle or to move forward. And I have a feeling that for Anita at age 35, she probably said, okay, what's next? And it's a cycle that kept repeating itself through her life. Oh, not so long ago, probably 3 or 4 months ago, she came to the service and she said, look, I've got eyebrows, my eyebrows. And I looked, I saw true real there. Then next week she came in and she said, I've got fuzz. I've got fuzz in my hair. And then the next week she came in and said, I went to the doctor and I'm healed. Everything's fine. And then probably within 2 or 3 weeks after that, she was back in the hospital. But in that moment where she declared her wholeness and her healing, she was whole and healed. The battle with her illness and the condition of her body was a symbol of that. So even though this body has been laid aside, she is perfectly healed and whole. Such a wonderful spirit. And your grandma, I had the great honor of doing healing sessions with her. All of these healing modalities are wonderful. And just one more thing, I think when underlying Anita's whole quest, the whole motivation was to find something, to find a way in which she could serve the greater good and serve individuals. And to see her go through this process of ministry school and completion of her ordination or whatever was so fascinating because she's one of the rare ones who everyone could see that her life was complete and fulfilled and joyful. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Reverend Cooper, and I just want to share one quick thing with you. Number one, we are kind of accustomed to wear dark clothes when we come to celebrate life like this. And of course, like most women, I was ready to go through my closet what I'm going to wear. bright and beautiful. So I went for my brightest sweater, and I did it. So, but what I really wanted to share with you was I believe that God's divine order guides us to do different things. And when Anita had her birthday this year, I was guided to do something special. Little did I know that I'd be here today. And I went to my jewelry box. And we had discussed things before about beauty and butterflies and things like that. And I went to my jewelry box and I looked and found the butterfly for her and gave it to her. She sent me a card. I want to read it to you. Dear Reverend Kelly, thank you for your support, love, and thoughtfulness. The butterfly pin is a beautiful reminder of my own
Metamorphosis.
Thank you, I couldn't get it out. Throughout this learning and growth process with love, Reverend Anita. So,
I'm sorry I wore the dark clothes. Next time I'll wear my bright red today. My name is Bill, and the story about Legal Shield, Anita and Mike, we did business together for 10, 15 years. And every week we did a business luncheon. I see some of our colleagues here. And Anita was a tremendous leader, and she's like everybody said, she was always super positive, always looking towards the future. What can we do to improve? So we went to Vegas every summer for our conventions. We went to Louisville. We went up and down the Ohio River in a riverboat. Just so many wonderful experiences. You know, business can have ups and downs. It was always a joy to do business with, of course, Anita and Mike. And we put a leadership, it was a leadership practice we put together. And of course, Anita and Mike were a very big part of that. And it started to grow, and grow. We started off maybe 5 or 10 people, then there was 23, then there was 40 and 50. And there was one woman that came, she said, I don't know what you were all are doing, but I want to be part of it. She had no idea what we were doing, it's all about leadership. So I just have to stand up and say that everything you heard about Anita is 100% true and more. And she was always super positive, she was a tremendous leader, and give her the microphone, and she was a great trainer. I wish I had time to prepare to go out and grab the mic today, but I wish I could load up all the things. I've got pictures. God only knows how many pictures. I'll just look at pictures of Mike and Anita, and some of us in Vegas and wherever we have gone. But with her, I just thank God for Anita. She's a tremendous influence on my life, on our business, and so many other people. So thank you very much. And I see Anita Jr. sitting right here. You might be so thank you so much for being here today. That's all I heard.
Thank you. And you didn't make it, but I heard it. The pictures, the stories, the list that you have, write them down, send them to the family.
Okay, I just wanted to say how it really is. We are so grateful to have had Anita through all of her treatments. She came and gave a message through all of that, and we have her talks recorded. And anyway, we're just grateful that she went through that. I think of, I know I shouldn't compare her to Jesus, but Jesus,
She's a master teacher too.
that's right. And Jesus had a short ministry, and so did Anita, but she always said Jesus was our way short, and we are just grateful that she was here with us. Thank you.
On behalf of the Unity East Board of Trustees, our members, and our entire congregation, I want to express our deep and heartfelt sympathy to Mike and the family at the loss of our dear Reverend Anita. Anita first spoke at Unity East in 2018. She delivered an interesting and practical message and can continue to do so over the next few years during the time we were experiencing a period of transition after Reverend Larry left. Anita felt called to attend the Unity's ministerial program to become a licensed Unity minister. She graduated in 2023 and was ordained last June. Over the years, I witnessed the growth and depth of Anita's spiritual nature as she guided us here at Unity East to a path that would allow us to make our lives better by going within and relying on Spirit. She provided assistance, support, and advice, and most importantly, great love. When Reverend Ben stepped down from his role as spiritual leader in 2023 in April, Anita stepped up, and the transition was smooth because she'd been working closely with Ben to ensure continuity in the process. When Ben passed, she provided a beautiful message during his memorial here at Unity East that helped us begin the healing process. Anita had a wonderful vision for our church, one of which is that television that I'm grateful she was able to see come to fruition. She had great ideas and plans to help us grow and prosper, and I, along with the entire Board of Trustees, pledged to work on keeping those plans and dreams alive as we move forward. I know she loved being here as much as we loved having her. Every time she had to miss a Sunday, she would tell me how much she wanted to be here and that she missed her peeps. She knew how much she meant to us, and we are richer and so greatly blessed for having known her. On a personal level, our first spark of friendship began when she and Mike came all the way from Rochester just to hear me sing a solo. That meant very much to me, and our friendship bond that formed from that first meeting in 2018 grew over the years. One of the memories I have of Anita is the laughter and fun we shared. We prided ourselves on our sarcastic natures, though it was always in fun and never hurtful to anyone. I'm very grateful that I was able to make her smile during some of her most difficult times, and being able to speak with her almost daily during her year of treatment is a blessing I will always cherish. I could always manage to get a chuckle out of her. She loved to laugh, and we did so often. And she was certainly always loving and supportive through my difficult times. One of the most heartfelt, loving things she ever did for me was drive from Rochester to my house, which is only 2 blocks from here, on a Sunday evening, to tell me that Ben had passed, so I didn't have to get that news on the phone. I know I speak for the entire board and our congregation, and it has certainly been my honor to serve Unity East alongside Anita, and even a bigger honor to call her my friend. I love you, Anita. When I get to see you again, I know you'll greet me with a smile and a laugh, and probably a sarcastic remark, something like, "What took you so long?" Thank you for being in my life, dear friend.
I had the honor, my husband and I had the honor of being married by Anita. We got engaged, and there was nobody else that I could even think about because it was going to be at our vacation house in Tawas area. It just meant so much that known Anita for well over 20 years, and although she was just my sister-in-law's mother, she was more than that. My love you guys, family. The ceremony was beautiful. I felt like she really, it was very heartfelt, it was very personal. She was a goddess. I was just some of those pictures the other day. So, short, sweet. Love her.
Shout out the word to you. Right where you're at. What did she mean to you? Who was she? If you gave her one word, what would it be?
Authentic.
Authentic, yeah.
Joyful.
Loving.
Strong.
Wonderful.
Sarcastic.
Shout out some more.
I like Anita from Rochester and from the community over where we live. And the thing that strikes me about Mike and Anita is their love, their relationship, and what a gift to witness. Thank you.
Thank you. so many different parts, so many different aspects. Who else?
I want to show you this next slide. The picture in the middle there, that came when one day we had an event here and she was dancing and I was videotaping her. And I pointed to her and I said, I'm going to put that on our website. And she was shaking her finger at me, don't you dare. But I did put the picture on there with her permission, so that's on our website.
See, it wasn't just you. Those are the moments that were so real, right? Well, if no one else wants to come up and share, I just again re-encourage you to continue to share these stories, even if the room full of people are in front of a mic. But I know there's also a special video that we'd like to share with you that is just, I'm so honored to have already seen it, and I know it's going to bless each of you. Do you want to say anything else before the video? No. So let's take a deep breath together, because this is going to take your breath away in the most beautiful way.
You know my name. If I saw you in heaven, would it be the same? If I saw you in heaven, I must be strong and carry on, 'cause I know I don't belong here in heaven. Would you hold my hand if I saw you in heaven? Would you help me stand if I saw you in heaven? I'll find my way through night and day, 'cause I know I just can't stay here in heaven. Time can bring you down, time can bend your knees. Time can bring
encourage you.
Just yesterday morning, they let me know you were gone. Suzanne, the plans they made put an end to you. I walked out this morning and I wrote down this song. I just can't remember who to send it to. I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. But I always thought that I'd see you again. Won't you look down upon me, Jesus? You gotta help me make a stand. Just got to see me through another day. My body's aching and my time is at hand. And I won't make it any other way.
I want you again just to take another breath. Breathe in. You know, it's all included. Those moments that may have been sad, the moments that brought us to joy, I heard a little bit of laughter in a few moments there, the smiles. So thank you, each of us, for sharing your stories. And let's take a moment just again for silent reflection on the meaning of Anita in your life to you. How will you remember her? What will you hold dear? What will be that thing that stands out to you? You can shed a tear because she is gone, or you can smile because she has lived. You can close your eyes and pray that she'll come back. Or you can open your eyes and see all that she's left. Your heart can be empty because you can't see her. Or you can be full of the love that you shared with her. You can turn your back on tomorrow and live yesterday. Or you can be happy for her memory. Or be happy about tomorrow because of yesterday. You can remember her and only that she's gone, or you can cherish her memory and let it live on. You can cry and close your mind, be empty and turn your back. Or you can do what she wants. Smile, open your eyes, love, and laugh. So I'd like to welcome up Beverly, who's going to share a special poem with you.
Before I read the poem, I want to share my little piece about Anita. I walked into this church at a funeral of a friend of mine. And as I sat here and listened to Anita and watched her talk, everything she was saying was coming right into me. And, you know, when you hear your truth, your body clicks together and you know you're hearing your truth. And I was struck by how authentic this woman was. And I never left. And Anita and I didn't know each other long, but we were so connected. And it's so true what you said about her being whole and healed. And it's important to know that there's a difference between being cured and being healed. And Anita was healed. I too am a Reiki master, and I had the extreme pleasure and honor to work with her with some healing. And I get messages, as you will, and I share them. And one of the things I told her was, remember who you are. And I heard her say that so many times after that Reiki session, and I was so grateful. And the first time that I hugged Mike, I turned to Anita and said, I hope you know that you're very safe with him. And she said, I have always known that. She was so lucky. You were lucky to have each other. So, okay. I'm free. Don't grieve for me. For now, I'm free. I'm following the path God laid for me. I took his hand when I heard him call. I turned my back and left it all. I could not stay another day to laugh, to love, to work, or play. Tasks left undone must stay that way. I found that peace at the close of the day. If my parting has left a void, then fill it up with remembered joy. A friendship shared, a laugh, a kiss. Ah yes, these two I will miss. But be not burdened with times of sorrow. I wish for you the sunshine of tomorrow. My life's been full. I've savored much. Good friends, good times, my loved ones touch. If my time seemed all too brief, don't lengthen it now with undue grief. Lift up your heart, rejoice with me. God wanted me now, he set me free.
continue from this moment. The little poem I'd like to read, Life Well Lived, because to me it represented the essence of Anita. A life well lived is a precious gift of hope and strength and grace from someone who has made our world a brighter, better place. It's filled with moments, sweet and sad, with smiles and sometimes tears, with friendships formed and good times shared, and laughter through the years. A life well lived is a legacy of joy and pride and pleasure, a living, lasting memory of that our grateful heart will treasure. Dear Anita, rest in the arms and minds of those who love. We release you into the warmth of our memories. So now if you take a moment, just take in another deep breath and pray with me. Into your hands, O God, we release the body expression of Anita. We know that her spirit is immortal and will remain with us always. May your eternal peace be with Anita and may her light continue to shine upon us. We hold her in our hearts and enfold her in the infinite love that is God, from which none of us can ever be separated. May the memories of the love shared remain fresh in the hearts of all of Anita's friends and family. And may that divine guidance, as she so valued, be our radiant beacon of light for us, as she was in this life. And so it is and shall continue to be. Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, as we get ready to sing our hymn, we remember that the best answer to death is the continuing affirmation of life. And that's the opportunity we have. May the love of family and friends, the joyful memories, and the hopes for the future that Anita had for you and that you have, may this give you the peace and the strength to live your lives enthusiastically and beautifully. And maybe we mimic some of the ways she did that, and we show up in ways that she will be watching and still be proud of. Just as Anita would wish for each of us, may we show up for her in that way. And I'd like to close with this line from Philip Larkin. What will survive of us is love. What will survive of Anita is love. So we're going to sing a song and gather as she closes out her services with a peace song, the prayer for protection, but I also want to tell you that as you leave, if you haven't already, there's a guest book to sign, and I know the family would love you to sign. But there's also tokens, both in the basket as you exit the sanctuary, but also by the book. Little tokens, a little bag for each of you to take that's a gift from the family. Just a token, a little bit of thanks and appreciation, but mostly remembrance. So we close with gratitude. And we remember to take good care of ourselves and each other. So if you would stand to sing the peace song, and again, this is the way to end every service. It happens at many unity churches. But imagine her standing here with us as we sing this song and close in prayer.
Peace on earth,
is one connected to each and every one of us. She showed us the way to be peace, to be love, to be light. So let's take that forward into the rest of this day, into our tomorrow, and into our relationships, and into the future, that she'll be watching and blessing every moment. Thank you for sharing. Girl, stop.